This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Stanley Parable. I've been wanting to play this for the channel for a while now, and I just haven't never gotten around to it. But I figured, oh, hey, they're releasing the Ultra Deluxe edition of this game eventually. I mean, it's been delayed multiple times, but it is coming out, and it's supposed to be this base game plus a lot of extra content, but I wanted to get this one done first, because when I do go to play the new one, I'm probably not going to do anything from this. I'm going to try to do all the new stuff, and since I already have this, I figured I might as well go ahead and do all the base content first. But, yeah, let's just go ahead and get into this. I also want to apologize for any of the audio that sounds a little messy, because for some reason, this thing's kind of doing what Twitch was doing, where the audio was like kind of playing twice. Thankfully, with OBS, I can literally just mute the desktop audio, and it only runs off the mic, so you're gonna be hearing the sound through the mic instead of through the actual computer itself, which is annoying, and it's gonna sound like crap, but it's the only way I can do that without cutting out myself entirely, which some people probably would prefer anyway, and then just having the game audio or having no game audio to begin with. So let's just go ahead and get going now.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Also, I was gonna say too, is, that's weird. I don't remember that. I've played this before. I don't remember this though. This hallway shouldn't be here. Weird.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I don't know what I was saying, but I'm gonna also try to follow him this first time, because I mean there's a lot of different endings to this game, so I'm gonna follow him for this first one, and then I'm gonna do whatever I want for the next one.
Person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Oh yeah, I remember what I was talking about now. I'm playing with a mouse and keyboard. I might eventually switch to controller, because I believe you can hook a controller up to this game. I can't remember for sure, but I may switch to that eventually. And then of course you also have the broom closet here.
The broom closet,
this is a really funny strike.
Here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Nah.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Alright, yeah, we'll go ahead and go.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
But yeah, if you guys want to see the full broom closet thing, you can probably just look it up yourself, and B, the game's cheap. I don't think it was that expensive. I think I paid probably just over $10 for it. So if you guys want to see it for yourself, you can.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Really? Couldn't I, though?
Incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
So I'm going to fix my sensitivity really quick, because I feel like my mouse is moving way too much. That's so much better now. You know, mouse speed-wise, anyway. And so I'm probably going to...
Deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Yeah, so like I was about to say, though, before the narrator interrupted me, I'm probably gonna only end up doing one ending per video.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Maybe we have to go that way. This way eventually, but here for right now. But yeah, I'm only gonna do one ending per video because otherwise these things run forever. This is like a short ending.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
It's spooky.
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true nature.
There's my camera. Over
Each
there.
bore the number of an employee in the building.
And that actually is my
Stanley's
office, too.
co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen. And Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yep. And so I'm probably gonna go ahead and do a second ending because I realized how fast this one went. So I'll probably try to do 2 per video. I feel like 2 should be enough per video.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
And that would be ending 1. And I'm going to go for another quick one, actually.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Yep, that is an actual ending. Okay.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Huh. That's new dialogue. I don't think I've ever heard him say that one. Anyway, trucking forward.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
And now we're going to ignore everything he says.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No, thank you.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Nah.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
As much as I like the color red, because it's my favorite color, we're going blue.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Stanley walked through the blue door.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
No, thank you.
All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees?
Would've been cool.
Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Well, now I want to go through the left door. What?
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Give me a third option? Nah.
A one? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a one? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboard. It's supposed to be how fast they completed the game. I don't know how you complete this in 2 seconds. Only the worst 3% of players chose the blue door. 98% of players are more attractive than Stanley. How long does it take you to get to the correct door? Compete against others to improve your Stanley Parable career. And I wonder how true this some of this actually is, though. I mean, obviously these stats right here are kind of fake. Like, I mean, maybe the 21.3% is probably true, maybe, but the 3% choosing the blue door being the worst is kind of funny, though. A dead rat is objectively ranked one space higher than I am. That's my superior. Man, what a dick.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
No, because you're just being a dick.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh yeah, this
the
one.
baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Yeah, so there is actually something here, if I remember correctly, if you sit here for the entire 4 hours pushing that button.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, I might actually try to do that for 4 hours just to get that ending, because there is supposed to be something there. Ooh, Minecraft.
Well, Stanley, is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired.
I mean, I can't
a game
jump.
I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be
I can
enough?
crouch, but I
But
can't.
I'll say this. I'm done making
I
things
can't
for
jump.
you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here, no, here, and then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course, and just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy.
Dude, I've made so much better in
you've only seen it
Minecraft.
from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Like, I built the Avengers Tower. I built maps for the first 4 or 5 Nights at Freddy's games. And I was working on Sister Location in addition to that. I was working on an Among Us map that actually functioned, which is kind of difficult in Minecraft because of some of the tasks being finicky. I've made giant board games like Sorry and Monopoly, Mastermind, Battleship, stuff like that. But yeah, this, oh yeah, no, fucking, 10 out of 10, dude.
Isn't it grand?
No.
Isn't it perfect?
No.
It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond.
What a waste of diamonds.
Diamond everything. Yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Dude, you're planning on wasting diamonds on a teeny-ass house like that? You're a moron, sir.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Nope. Ooh, mushrooms.
Oh, no.
Ooh,
This
iron.
is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Okay, that was apparently a dead end. And I also actually heard a skeleton, I think, as well as a spider. Oh, now we're in Portal. Nice.
Yes, I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious. Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Aw.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
I would actually like to play Portal for the channel one of these days, but
Genius.
don't have the money to buy it on here.
No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty. I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games, and I highly doubt you're any wiser for the experience. Which is why, rather than continue to waste my time, I'm just going to leave you here. You can pretend you've beaten the game if it makes it any richer for you, but as for me, I've had enough. So, why don't you get cozy in this room, and if you have any grand revolutionary ideas for the perfect video game, you can just sit there and let it ball up inside you for all eternity. I don't need your advice. I don't need your ratings. And I certainly don't need the validation of a man whose job is to push buttons. I think I'll just go about my business, making meaningful cultural contributions to the world. And perhaps every now and then, I'll think back to a man named Stanley who was objectively wrong in every decision he ever made. The thought won't last long. Goodbye, Stanley. Good luck with your work, and I sincerely hope that everyone lives happily ever after.
Huh. I actually don't remember this. I mean, like, I remember it, but I don't remember it. Like, I don't remember what I'm supposed to do or where I'm supposed to go. I think you're just supposed to fall. Again. Hey, it's my office, but different. Well, okay then.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay, so then that's gonna do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Because I mean, I am gonna try to finish this one. Oh, I'm not gonna try to finish. I'm gonna finish this one. And then once they finally release the Ultra Deluxe Edition, I'm gonna be buying it and playing it through as well. Kind of like how I still plan, because I played through Doki Doki Literature Club, and I plan on going back and doing the Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. But I was dumb and bought it on the Xbox, and I can't just install it on the computer for whatever stupid reason. Even when I go through the Microsoft Store, even though I'm signed into the exact same account, it won't let me unless I buy it again, which is just stupid, because you'd think it would be attached to my account, not the console, which it's not. You know, like if I bought another console, it would actually work, but you know, it's whatever. Yeah. So yeah, kind of like that, where I'm going to go back and play, like, the expanded version of it later on. That's what I'm going to do with this one, too. Except this one doesn't even have the expanded version out yet, and on top of that, I don't have money for it. Hopefully, by the time it does come out, I'll have the money to buy it, but for the time being, I don't. But, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave a like if you did. Comment down below which of the endings was your favorite of those three. You know, I mean, like I said, there's like 18 different endings, if I remember correctly. So there's quite a lot of endings, but that's just 3 of them. And anyway, subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the bell to be notified when I upload a video. And oh, and before I forget, actually, I also wanted to mention I'm not going to be doing the other bonus episode for Night in the Woods. For what was it, Lost Constellations, because I went to do that. I was gonna do that instead of this, and then do this later. But when I went to start up Night in the Woods, it told me that I didn't have access to it. So I went into the Game Pass menu, and it turns out that it is no longer on Game Pass, even though they never notified me of it leaving, which they usually do. So yeah. Night in the Woods is officially done, because I never bought the game. I got it through Game Pass, so I don't own it, and as such, I can't play it anymore. Maybe somewhere down the road I'll play it, and I'll buy it, or if it's, I mean, I'm probably gonna buy it for that one little extra bit. If it's back on Game Pass, or if it's, you know, free for a period of time or whatever, I might play through that, but I'm not gonna spend full price on a single extra bit of mode. So yeah, anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then.